Meow, 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 meow. Well, we finally got our buddy Pat on here.
What's up, guys?
What you been up to recently, Pat?
Kind of same old, same old. Haven't been working too much, honestly. Just keeping up on the farm stuff. Kind of the usual, kind of catching up on my 3-month backlog, but...
Yeah, I mean, definitely one of the things I'm most interested in, today is talking about your product development. Because, I mean, you launched your ProbeHalo. There's some other little products that you've launched over the years, but I think the ProbeHalo is kind of really what stuck, or it seems like it has. So I don't think we really have had a guest on that did a product launch. So it'll kind of be interesting to get into how that came about and what you went through to actually get to production.
We want to hit off the intro quick before we get too far.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Impractical Machinist podcast. My name is Patrick. You can find me on Instagram as @JobShopperTN.
I'm Cameron from Machining is Cool. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we'd appreciate a 5-star rating.
I'm Bradley with Marvel Machining. If you're on YouTube, be sure to give us a like and subscribe to the Practical Machinist YouTube channel.
On this episode, we are joined by our friend Pat Foreman, also known as Pat at Old Boys, the owner of Old Boys Industries in Lodi, Ohio. He's not your typical machine shop owner, young, handsome, and without much of a family history in the trade, and he doesn't have a lathe. No lathes. Today, we'll find out what possessed him to start a shop and what it's like to develop and launch a successful product of your own design. How's that? Are you still selling them pretty well?
They still sell. I mean, it's way past the point of, like, I made one Instagram post, and I never posted anywhere else. I never showed anything else. And it just kind of organically took off, which was really cool because that was, like you said, that was new to me too. I had never done anything like that. I was so far in over my head. I was like, oh, I'm going to sell one or two of these and, write everybody's name, their addresses out and stuff. And the first week of that was just chaos.
How many orders did you get in the first week?
So I actually made like 400 halos, like at first, because I was like,
yeah.
I mean, they're easy to make. And I sent them out, got them anodized, got them back, and I was expecting like one or two of them. And I made a post on Instagram, and within like 2 hours, all 400 were gone.
No shit.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, oh no, a great problem to have, but it was definitely a learning curve of like trying to figure out how to balance stuff. And, I didn't know how to put a limit on the website. So it just kept fucking selling and selling and selling. And then I'm like emailing 200 people of like, you're gonna have to wait 2 weeks. And, then I'm sitting there like, how do I use a label printer? How do I print, I was just going to write somebody's name down.
400 times.
Well, I thought I was going to do one or two. So, the learning curve was vertical. It was interesting. But it's good. It's at the point where it's like organically, people that I don't know saw it in somebody else's shop, go on a website and buy it. And it's kind of, they didn't have to see it from me, which has been nice. And honestly, if I could try to, explain to somebody like what a good product I would think would be something that kind of does that, the best product sells itself. And I don't want to have to convince somebody why they should come buy my stuff. If you can't look at it and see why you want it or, see for yourself, then whatever.
Do you know how many you've sold so far?
I don't. I would say, I don't know, probably, what did I tell you the other day, Pat? I actually looked.
I wish I could remember.
6 or 8, maybe 10,000. Honestly, a lot, a ton. More than I ever imagined.
You got a turn center?
Not yet.
How do you even run a business without a machine shop or a turning center?
Yeah, how can you even call yourself a machinist if you don't have a lathe?
I do have one. I don't know how to use it. I got a little manual. I put stuff in it and I touch it with sandpaper and polish shit up. I couldn't use it. If you put a gun to my head, I couldn't figure out how to run that or the Bridgeport. They just sit there and look cool.
We'll have to go through the comments on some of our Facebook reels and address that whole mess. Because man, oh man, you and I got blasted for not liking lathes, Brad.
Oh, it was hilarious. It was,
Yeah, never said I didn't know how to run one.
I
just
even
hate
fucking said I had one.
Yeah. On the subject of experience with machines and whatnot, why don't we just go ahead and hit on what got you into machining?
Okay. It's different story. I didn't really, my parents were teachers. There was no family shop here.
Your parents were teachers?
Teachers.
What happened?
Great question. They, so see, I didn't really, we had a little barn out back, like I'd play with tools in and stuff, but nothing like I know a lot of people, that like grew up with the family shop or grew up doing that kind of stuff. And so I was always interested in, I always like cars. I was like tinkering on stuff. And then went through a couple, working on cars wasn't for me. Tried welding for a bit. I still do a bunch of welding, but quickly realized that that's one of those things that, everybody and their brother knows how to weld, or they think they know how to weld. So you want to start a welding shop, you got to compete with, 50 other guys in town, and they probably all suck, but nobody cares because nobody really knows what a good weld looks like anyways.
Yeah.
So honestly, it kind of came out of the blue. I was like looking for jobs, kind of looking for anything. And this thing popped up in I think it was in the newspaper or something. It was like the local community college was having it was like an 8-week, like a intro to machining course. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. I kind of like welding. I like cutting stuff, with the 2 tools I had. So I'm like, whatever, cool, we'll try it. So I signed up for that, show up to that, quickly learned that it was a diversion program for guys getting out of jail. So it was
no.
you get like, they would lop off parole if you show up and take like a learning course. And so there was like me and then a bunch of dudes who didn't look nothing like me. And
How old were you?
like 18, 19. So I was the only guy that wasn't on parole, and which actually ended up working out for me, because as those guys, they were just there because they just needed the signature. The teacher was awesome, and he kind of picked up on like, hey, like this kid like actually is really curious about this stuff. So he'd walk around and like turn everybody loose, and we're doing Bridgeport squaring a block day, and he'd just like, turn everybody loose, don't cut your fingers off. And then he'd come just stand by me and just like literally just fill my head with like, hey, here's 40 years of tips and tricks and ideas. And, I'm just going to talk you, like baby step you through all this stuff just because you actually, seem to care. So that was, 8 weeks, whatever. I think the end of it was you got to write a program out of, I don't know, because I don't know G code, but it was something like that. I'm sure I copy pasted it off some Google page. Then you got to, it would come down and drill holes in a smiley face or something. And then the follow up to the class was that, well, if you finish this, this 8-week program, we'll get you a job in machining. So it's like, all right, cool. I need a job. Cool. So they got me hooked up with some place, and I literally rolled in there, and it was just, one other machinist guy who didn't know I was coming, which he was just thrilled to have me.
I'm sure.
And so he just put me on machines, push this button, don't talk to me, leave me alone. So did that for about a week, and then I asked the guy, out of curiosity, I'm like, hey, like, what do these machines cost? And he said, more than you'll ever be able to afford. Why do you care? And that kind of just struck a nerve with me, that I'm sitting here like, all right. So I quit that day, and like what they were paying nothing anyways. So I walked out, and then on my way home, I called like 1-800-HAAS. And they directed me to my local sales guy. And he's like, yeah, cool. Let's get some beers. Let's talk about it, whatever. And I'm like, putting on my big adult voice, like not telling him like I'm a literal child. I got $300 to my name. Like, oh, of course. And so yeah, let's meet at this place, grab some beers, talk about it. And he's like, oh, I've never even heard of that. It's like the only bar in town that you don't have to shoot your way out of. Like, how do you not know what this is? And he goes, honestly, I just moved here. He said, I got this job last week. I just moved here from a state away. You're the first person that's called me. So I'm like, perfect. This is, my perfect target. So he comes out and he's only like a year older than me. And, we abused that P card. We ordered steaks and every fucking bourbon they had on the list. And at the end of the night, he was like, I'm going to get you a machine. I'm going to make this happen. And like 3 days later, I bought one. So he got me into a mini mill I'm pretty sure Haas donated that to me. He probably got his ass chewed for his first sale being a negative number to me. But sold me a machine and ended up stuffing it in my parents' garage at the time. I said, hey, something's coming in the mail. Can I put it in the garage for a few weeks? Oh, sure, no problem. And
oh my goodness.
that semi truck pulled up. We jammed that in the garage. I figured out how to wire a phase converter. It was, I'm shocked it all worked and nobody got zapped. And then honestly, the first time I had ever turned the machine on by myself was mine. And it was purely out of spite of somebody, just saying, fuck you, kid, you'll never be able to figure this out. And that just didn't sit right with me. So, and if you know anything about me, that's the last thing you should say to me if you're, unless you want me to actually do the thing. So just kind of went from there. Started like literally would just call buddies and say like, hey, what can you do for me? Like, I need help. Started a couple little jobs here and there. Moved to a bigger shop. Was running another guy's shop as well, running all of his stuff too. And moved out here, and here we are. So really kind of not the traditional sense of grew up machining or was a journeyman somewhere and learned that way. I didn't learn. I tell everybody, like, I learned off of John Saunders and old Titan. But like everything, if you got, if we couldn't figure something out, just Google it, because I didn't have anybody to ask and I didn't know. So I kind of came the odd way around.
That's a great story though, man, because it shows how a little determination can go a long way. You found enough grit in you to just tell this guy, hey, you telling me I can't do this, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And now look at you. You got two hosses behind you in your own shop, in your own house.
You mail that company some ProbeHalos with your picture on it?
They bought some from me.
Oh yeah,
a couple months back, and I did take a picture of that and I sent it to everybody I knew. I said, get a load of this. They all knew exactly what it was. So
That's fun.
That's awesome.
You ever talk to that guy again?
I did not. Nope.
Oh,
see you
okay.
later. So
bad.
they've ordered those.
He's
And
probably
then
still
actually-
miserable.
Yep. They actually
Really?
RFQ'd some stuff for me. And I gave them my go away price. So I didn't want to do it.
You should have quoted it low and then never shipped him. Like, sorry, I don't know how to run these machines.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
you
I'm
know-
doing.
You never taught me. It's my first time.
Yeah. I don't even have machines. I couldn't afford them.
You and I have talked, on Instagram for a long time now. I remember when you had the job that you had before you just went fully on your own. At what point along the way did you decide I need to have all this for myself?
That's a good question, because I still struggle with that to this day. I know, like, Brad, you're on your own. I know, like, you probably have the same feelings of, like, every single day is like, should I just go get a day job and not have to deal with this shit?
I told my kid that the other day. I said, I'm just going to get a fucking day job because you guys bother me too much.
No, I still struggle with it, but it comes down to like, I like the freedom of being able to do what I want when I want. But also is kind of, if you look at from a business aspect of, I'm standing here, I'm running parts. They're paying me good money to run stupid little parts. They're paying me. They're all making good money. Business is making good money. Why can't I do that? I have this same machine sitting in my garage. Why am I making somebody else money?
Yeah.
So it kind of just, it was nice to have that safety net, which is, I know that everybody falls victim to, is the safety net of the day job paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to say no to. But at some point it's just kind of like, it's either now or never. And I hear a lot from people is, they'll have kids, they get married, they buy a house, and they kind of get stuck. And then at that point, you can't risk it all. So
Definitely true.
Yeah, I get that. You pile on enough responsibilities, it makes it to where that risk. I mean, one single guy can crash and burn and just figure it out and rebuild, but a man wouldn't want to do that to his wife and his kids.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
Yeah. It seems like the common route there is to start on the side, throw something in your garage, do it at night, and then once it grows enough and you can justify it, then go out on your own.
mhm.
That's what you did, right, Brad?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I started Marvel Machining 10 days before my second kid was born, thinking it was going to be a good idea. And then he came home and I'm like, yeah, no, this isn't a good idea right now. I'm going to wait. I mean, I still did shit on the side here and there, but it wasn't a priority.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Michael Sims, Target Point Precision?
Yeah.
He just recently had to go on his own because he was kind of forced to. It got to a point where he had to leave his job, and so
Just had so much work.
no, I probably shouldn't say a whole lot, but he was basically, it was made pretty clear that he needed to leave because
Worker.
he's right, and so yeah, he went full time a week or two ago, and he at
Good.
this point he couldn't be happier.
Yeah.
Every time he puts up a story of like he's out in his shop running his mini mill, and then he's got his kids in the background. They're either playing or they're helping him, that kind of thing. It's just, I love it.
I mean, you hit a point when you have stuff at home and you still have that day job where you're sitting at work during the day running parts, thinking, "Shit, I can make 4 times this and just go home." Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I remember sitting on a calculator, like, okay, I'm gonna make this much today, but I have 10 grand worth of jobs at home I can do in 3 days. What the fuck is the point of this? And I ended up like that next week. I just was like, I'm done. Can't.
Yeah. Well, when you got 10 grand of work at home that you could do, I mean, that's more than you're making in a month.
Yeah. And that was
3 days.
in my head. It was like, okay, let's figure this one out. Let's get this job done. I'm ahead a month, and now let's just figure out the next month and go for it. I came home and I told my wife, I said, I'm done. She's like, what do you mean? Like, we didn't have a conversation about it. I'm like, I'm just going to work from home from now on. She's like, are we going to be okay? I'm like, yeah, we'll be fine.
I'll figure it out.
When I left,
I'd like, there's work out there. Why can't I just do it at home? Why do I got to go to work and do it for this person that's making money?
Yeah.
when I left that last place, which is honestly the only real adult job aside from odds and ends when I was 16, 17, 18. But when I left that job, I put everything in my car. I got in the car. I drove here, and I actually looked at my watch, and 48 minutes later, I was running parts on my own machines.
Yeah.
So it was like,
Heck yeah.
cry me a river. See ya.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. So given all that, at what point along this journey did the ProbeHalo come into your brain? Where did that stem from?
So
Did you crash a probe?
that's kind of a funny one because when Haas came through and did the Haas Insider, they were asking me about it, and those guys were awesome. And I'm like telling them about it, and they're like, "We can't fucking say this. Haas won't let us say this." So I kind of fudged it. Oh yeah, I just thought of it. So guy I was working with became a really good friend. I was running, my shop was next door to his, so I was kind of running his during the day, running them both at the same time. And it was actually, I had just bought my VF4. I signed on it, and he's not one to be outdone. So he bought a dual spindle ST10, ST15, and at the same time, they showed up on the same truck. And 2-3 days later is when all the COVID lockdown stuff happened. And so we're sitting there going, I just signed the biggest check of my life. I don't even have the machine yet. And I have every single one of my customers calls me and says, see you in a month. And I'm shitting bricks, and we were just, and my boy reaches in his pocket, pulls out $100, gives it to some other dude, and says, go buy as much beer as you can with that. Like, if we're going down, we're having fun. And so we started drinking at work, and, you know, in hindsight, like, for 2 weeks sounds fun. Well, in hindsight, it ended up being 2 years. But so work just became fun. Because again, if we're going down, if we're losing it all, we're gonna have fun doing it. And one of those days, you know, a month in, I don't know what happened, but I fat thumbed the number and just dunked the probe. Thankfully, it was into some Delrin, so it just broke the Delrin. Dunked it, and I'm just like, you know, fuck. And it just kind of came in my head as like, I should be able to stop that. You know, I should be able to figure out how to, you know, keep that from happening, because I can't be the only one that's done that. I might be the only one that drinks in machines, but so I'm thinking, it's like, you know, it stops itself if it goes this way. And so some of my first iterations are ridiculous. In fact, they're absolutely ridiculous. And then it got, like, you know, smaller and better. I think this is version 40 that I have now. It just kind of started from just like a big oopsie that I got away with. And then it ended up working, and I sent it to a bunch of guys. I think, Pat, actually, you have one of the original ones too.
I do. I still have it.
You know, I figured out, like, I put it on my machine. I cautiously bumped it into some cardboard. It worked. I sent it out to a couple guys. I'm like, I hope this doesn't, you know, cost you big, and ended up working. And, you know, got some feedback on it, moved some stuff around. And so it actually came from, like, a point in time where it shouldn't have. I had no business running machines, no business doing any of that stuff. And we were just partying, having fun. Which is kind of funny how, you know, doing something I shouldn't have been doing led to that. Otherwise, I probably would have never thought of it. So,
Right.
What's funny is, so before I first saw the ProbeHalo, it was probably like 2 weeks before I saw it on Instagram. I was sitting there thinking, like, so I'd heard about a guy at the shop before me who just fat fingered a number. Instead of going like 0.7 deep, he went 7 deep.
Yep.
You know, like going a probe way I've been X, and completely crushed the probe body. And I was like thinking about it. I'm like, man, if you were to attach something like right there, that's like a larger diameter than the probe body, if you were to bump into something, I was like, man, I should figure something out for that. And then I saw your post for the ProbeHalo. I was like, oh, fuck, that's it right there. What a genius. I'm buying 4 right now.
they're the local.
It
Sorry,
saved
man.
us. It saved us. I mean, I've saved probes because of it. I'm also a lot more willing to just like, throw my numbers in. All right, I'm gonna go do something else while this thing probes, because on our machines, the probes are slow as shit.
No, I've actually gotten, like, so much feedback of that, and that's kind of the cooler part of, you know, aside from cool, I like making money running a business, but the cool part of, guys will send me messages and go like, hey, like, this saved my ass today. I would have gotten fired. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
that's cool. So that, you know, one of those things that makes you sleep good at night. You lay down, you go, okay, at the end of the day, I like paying my bills, but I also want to help people. And, you know, I was that guy with my first machine, didn't know how to turn it on. First thing I probed, you know, I had no business running any of that stuff. I should have smashed all of that. So,
What's a new probe cost? New probe body.
$6,000.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ask Brad.
Yeah.
New, I think it's like $6,000, $6,200, but they got the replacement program. It's like $1,600 to replace. I'll replace 2 now.
Yeah. But I mean, and now not every, like putting a ProbeHalo on isn't going to save you 100% of the time. If you wrap it into something, obviously you're screwed.
Yeah.
But if it's in safe mode, then chances are you're going to be good.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it's cheap insurance.
It is.
I've gotten a few of those messages too of somebody go, oh, well, I spun it up to 10,000 RPM and smashed something into it. It's like, all right, you suck. I can't help you there.
Yeah.
Can't do everything for you.
That was my first crash. It was my machine. I don't know what the fuck. I don't remember now. It was a post issue. I think something canceled out the G43, so it wasn't in safe mode, and it just rapided right into it.
Yeah. There was like a
ProbeHalo.
G40 where there was like a G40 and then not a subsequent G43 after or something. Some stupid post processor
Yep.
garbage. Yeah.
Do you know what any of that means, Pat?
Absolutely not. I'm just letting you guys talk. I say I have no idea what any of these are.
Yeah, I don't.
What I think is hilarious is, so you get these people on mainly Facebook, it seems like, all the people who've been doing it for 39 years and whatever. And then here you are, then obviously they're like, you need to know all the G code, you need to program by hand before you actually use CAM, and you need to start manual machining before you actually run a CNC and all that stuff. And here you are like, I don't know, I'm just going to buy a machine and Google everything and then figure it out as I go. And now you bought a whole farm, you got an entire garage full of machines, and you have your own
not
system.
against that. I think that it's good for most people. Maybe with an ego that's a little more normal size than mine. I think it's a good thing. I worked at my last job. We had a guy for a while. It was a Swiss guru, who he listens to this. So shout out to Richard. But he walks in and starts, editing a program in the middle of it and change it. And I'm just sitting there. My eyes are like this big. I have no idea what he's doing. And, he's like noticing me watching. I'm like, I have no idea what you're doing. Like asking him questions. And he's like, I literally just changing one little thing. No clue. So I think it is good. I think, if you were to suggest to somebody to go that route, to learn that way, then absolutely. But also, you can just Google stuff. I mean, if you have a problem, 10,000 other people had a problem, and there's forum posts,
Yeah. YouTube.
Saunders has got a video on it.
ChatGPT is the shit.
Yeah.
When I first started doing my probe, he kept alarming out. So I put the code in ChatGPT and I'm like, hey, what the fuck's going on? This is my machine 2013. And it was like, hey, try this probe and cycle code. So I tried that and I was like, nope, it did this alarm. And it kind of like stepped me through like I was talking to a tech. And then after like 5 minutes, I figured out the code I needed.
Yeah. I was just saying before we started recording, like how much I've been using AI lately. I've been using one called Perplexity, and it seems different than ChatGPT. I feel like it's better. I don't actually know, but
what were you looking up before the show?
I don't worry about that. But we had an alarm yesterday on one of the machines, and it was for the auger. It was like an auger overload something. I don't know. I literally took a picture of the screen and said, "What does this mean?" And it's like, "Oh, it's this code, and this is what you need to do." And like it's a circuit breaker. You need to go find the circuit breaker in the electrical panel and, flip it and like to be safe, turn the machine off and all that stuff. Give you the whole walkthrough. And actually the same day I had another one. It was like something about a radius arc, an invalid radius arc. It was like parameter 3410. You can edit parameter 3410 to adjust the minimum radius arc that you can use. Like literally just took a picture and said, what does this mean? Didn't give it any other information like, oh, this is a FANUC IHMI control. You need to, like all that stuff. Literally picture of the screen, tell me, and it just spits it all out. So it's like you don't even know stuff.
No,
a lot of this stuff.
That's crazy.
It's wild. What I really like doing too is I'll take that stuff. Like if you have, I don't know, something common we run into, and I'll say, write me an SOP for this and turn it into a PDF, and then it gives you just like a little procedure.
That's a good idea.
Print that shit out, and you got it.
Yep.
Nice. I mean, I was going to say, it's kind of funny. You've got all these, folks out here that did not come up the traditional way, and they might not have an old head to teach them. but really, like, especially with Instagram and whatnot, you can find your own mentor, I guess, or just group of peers to learn from. And that's, of course, the four of us are in the, the group chat and whatnot. Pat's asked me for tips now and then. I've asked him for tips, vice versa. I asked Cam.
What is G43?
I asked Cam something the other day and he couldn't help me with it, but that's okay.
Yeah, I would say I programmed on the control when I first started running CNCs. I hand typed everything on there.
Yeah.
It's great to know, but now I don't give a shit to look at the code.
Exactly.
I don't even, your cam should post it correctly. If your post is wrong, get it fucking fixed.
Yeah.
I will post and hit cycle start and walk the fuck away. I do not care. Like, I have no worry in the world.
Yeah.
Like, if that control never showed me G code, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same thought process in the beginning whenever I started machining. Like, oh, I need to know what everything on here means. When you're looking at like all the G code scrolling past, I'm like, I need to know what all this means. Then I started programming. I'm like, oh, the whole, like, the post processor just figures all that out for you.
Yep.
And like, it doesn't matter what it says. You just post it and it works, then you're great. If it doesn't work, figure out why it doesn't work.
I will say, if you know the code, Gene, and you watch it and you see things, like, I get bothered by, like, I have a couple sections in my code that double post like a G20, and it's like, don't fucking do that. I don't like that. It's wrong. Like, you only need it once.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that bothers me knowing the code, is when I see something like that.
See, it's like, that's just excess, like, yeah.
Oh, like the conversation we had in the group chat, that we were talking, I broke a tool because I started the program with the Z down, and it tried to go through it because it didn't the XY first.
It didn't zero out first.
Yep. So I changed my M6 to go up first, and everyone's like, "We'll just put a G28 Z0 before every tool change." I'm like, "No," and then I'll see that, and I won't like that. That there's no point in having it. Like, M6 alias is better.
Yeah.
And I don't know how your guys' shops are set up, but like, even in my last place in this one too, I'm like 3 steps away from the machine.
Yeah.
So like, can I edit on the control? Sure, but I just come over here and just do clicks in Fusion and repost it.
Right. I did the same thing. I did that yesterday. I was doing some dowel holes, and I was just interpolating it with a 1/4-inch end mill and some aluminum. And I forgot to put a G41 in. So the what's it called on Fusion? The in machine, what's it called? Like your wear comp?
In control or on control?
Yeah, you got like on control or whatever. I don't know. I
think
I don't know what a wear comp is
it's
either.
It's like in computer.
Yeah, it's like in computer, in control, or wear. That's what it is. It's wear. So you use your wear offset, your radius wear offset on the offset page to actually adjust the tool out. So like, if I needed a 376 hole, I need a slip fit for a 375 pin, and I ran it, and I was at like 374.5. And so I just needed to offset it out on the control. That's all I wanted to do. So like, I mean, and I was standing there, I was like, man, I could add a G41 D06 in. It's like, but if you put it in the wrong spot, like, it's not the right lead in, because it's not a big enough lead in, then it's going to cause issues. It won't actually work. It'll alarm out. And I forget to cancel it out or whatever, then whatever. I'm just going to go to a computer that's 5 steps away, check a box, post, throw it back on, and I'm good to go. And I don't have to worry about messing it up. Even if I know how to do it, I'll still just run back to the computer real quick, post it back out again. That way I know it's at least done right and I can't screw it up.
See, I'll take 2 steps back to the computer and do negative stock to leave and bump it 0.2.
Oh, man.
And that way, and honestly, I've had really good luck with that, as far as I have some like templates that I've made that are saved that, based on hole depth, and different tools and stuff. But if I come back to something 6 months later and I forget, I need a press fit or something, I can actually look at it and see that it's got like, a negative, 0.8 stock to leave. So I have a really good starting point of like, this tool, when it's new, fresh, should be about 0.8 stock to leave. So I might bump it back to 7, run a spring pass, and it's right there.
We've done that on quite a few things. It depends on the tolerance. Like, usually if it's plus or minus 1 or smaller, then we do wear offset every time. But like plus or minus 2 or bigger, just run it like adjust the offset in the program, the next time you don't even have to think about it. We're always running the same tools. Like we have standardized tooling for most stuff. So,
Yep.
and it tells you specifically what tool to use. So even if it's not like our standard tooling, it's still like you need to use this specific end mill. And so when you pick that same end mill up again and throw it back in the machine, you're good.
Yep. I've had really good luck with that, and especially on aluminum,
Yeah.
tools don't wear out, so I can come back a year later, put the same tool in.
Yeah, there's no rules
And
in with them.
It's got a a negative stock to leave of 4/10, and it's spot on. You just put it in and run it all day long.
Absolutely.
So-
No, you're perfectly fine to do whatever you want in aluminum, except for start mid program.
Should we play a game? Ohio Pat, we're going to quiz you. Ready?
I'm ready.
G00.
That's go. That's a rapid because it spells out go, and that's the only reason I know it. We're going. That's it. That's the only one.
That's great. How about G40?
No clue. Not even gonna guess.
Oh, come on. Let's go G91.
Can't wear off nuts.
Yeah, G54 through 59. That's it.
How about G53?
No clue.
Pat 2?
Hmm?
What's G53, Pat?
No, that's your machine coordinate system with no offsets.
What about G04?
Dwell.
You can use a P or a
Dwell is a
weird.
checkbox in well drill when it gets to the bottom. I don't care what it looks like.
How about M19?
spindle.
19 spindle orient. Yep.
All right, Ohio Pat, is it T1 M6 or M6 T1?
T1 M6. I know that.
Yeah.
Does
I
not
can
matter.
do that.
No, you call the
Doesn't
tool up
matter.
first, and then
It doesn't fucking matter. I do M6 T1 every time, and it doesn't matter.
you got to call the tool.
Usually, while I'm typing M6, I'm thinking about which tool I need. So I'm already typing M6 and like mid M6. I'm like, oh yeah, T3.
He has
And
it
walk
backwards.
into it.
Just fuck you, Brad.
Yeah. I run machines from the century, and so it doesn't matter. It just reads the whole line and does it.
Do you do M3 and then the spindle command? Spindle speed?
No, I do like
You do
S5003, yeah. Because I already know what RPM I need. Then I got to think of the M code while I'm typing RPM.
You've already calculated your surface footage to determine your RPM.
Mentally calculated it. That's right. Yep, definitely not just by a guess or anything.
I did run a machine. It was an old machine, but it wouldn't take M6 first. You had to do tool first and then M6.
Really?
Hmm.
Well, I believe that.
Or actually, you know what? I think it was the other. I don't remember. Maybe it was the other way around. No, it had to have been T1 because I knew how to program, and somebody came up and tried to do it backwards. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And it didn't work. I was like, well, that's why you don't do it that way. It's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
The machine backed me up in that moment. But yeah, it would obviously work both ways. But
So I just want to make this clear to all the Facebook boomers out there. The fact that, Pat did not get a passing grade on this quiz does not make his shop any less successful.
he don't know
It don't
T-code,
matter.
and he don't have a turn center.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what he's doing.
This is gonna be the lowest rated episode of all time. 1 star. Also helps that I do different work than most people, though. So to be fair,
That's every shop. It depends entirely on the workload. Depends on what work you're doing. It's like the one dude that's like, 99% of jobs start on the lathe. It's like, well, obviously the workload that you have justifies that.
hey, you work at the round part factory.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You work in the shaft factory.
That sounds like some Chuck Monkey work.
Definitely.
that dude can go polish shafts all fucking day.
All right. The lathes being. Tell us about old boys. Why old boys?
Yes.
Okay. So way before any business was like an idea, I used to refer to myself as Pat's half-ass fab shop because I was like a 16-year-old kid, like sticking stuff together. I don't know, I thought it was funny, and it was not. I ended up in Dublin, Ireland. My girlfriend at the time, her birthday was on St. Paddy's Day, so I took her there for Dublin, and we're walking around looking for some music because Dublin's very like rap, and it's very American. It felt like you're just downtown at the clubs. And so I'm like looking for some Irish music, and so asked some bouncer guy, what do I got to do to get, some music or whatever? And he says, I know a place. There's a bit of an old boys club. All right. And he stops and he looks me up and looks me down. You're a bit of an old boy. He's like, go down here and go up there and, bang on the door, tell him it was me. Cool, great. And I'm walking down the street and I'm going, like, where's this guy sending me? Like, I don't know. Is that a slur? Is he sending me to a bar that I don't want to be at? I have no idea. I don't know what that means. And it ended up being a really cool place. It was an old boys club. Everybody in there was 60 plus. It was just like the old heads. You bang on the door and the little slot opens up. What do you want? Who are you? And so it was cool. And so it just kind of became the joke of like, oh yeah, I'm an old boy. I still to this day don't really know what it means. But some old head looked at me and said, you're an old boy. I said, okay. So that became the joke, and it just kind of stuck, honestly. And then when I finally started the business and started doing stuff, was kind of thinking of names and stuff, and everybody and their brother is super precision. Yeah. So I wanted something that like people can remember, and just kind of stuck. So there you go. I said, fuck it, I'll call it Old Boys, and here we are. So that's that. I still don't know what it means.
I mean, you need to go back to Ireland and try to find that same bar. And
it's Devitt's Pub. Every time anybody I know goes, they bring me back. In fact, my dad was there last week and he brought me a shirt back.
Oh, nice.
So shout out to anybody that's in Dublin. Go visit Devitt's.
That's awesome.
I don't know if we have anybody from Dublin listen to this thing.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
Hey, if you're from Dublin, Ireland, comment down below.
Yeah.
So someday I will be old and hopefully still doing this, and then it'll fit. Until then, it doesn't make any sense. I have to explain it to every single person, whatever.
I mean, some people are old on the inside,
I've always been an old man inside.
My back feels like it's 65.
Oh, yeah. Right.
My knees.
All right. Well, why don't we get into some Instagram questions? We actually got a lot. So you're very popular, Pat.
That's a cool guy.
It's probably from the usual suspects.
The pragmatic machinist. Does your mom, like 50-year-old, want to be a machinist, and can your dad fight?
Don't talk about my mom that way, but she is my best friend. She's awesome. And my dad will whoop your ass. So
I love that guy. Chris, you're awesome. Firmworks Limited asked, how does he have so much aura? And then I made that picture of your head over Piccolo from Dragon Ball Z. Oh,
Dragon
man.
Ball Z?
You do. I mean, there's something
Dragon
about you, man.
Balls.
Well, there's something about you, man. You got that. I don't know. You do have sort of a projection of just, what's the word? Confidence.
I've always been a people person. I like bullshitting.
It's a mustache.
The mustache helps.
Mm-hmm.
No, I always like being a people person. I always like, I kind of always admired people that like could just strike up a conversation with anybody at the grocery store and bullshit with them for an hour. And, I kind of always admired those people. I thought it was pretty cool. And so I'm Irish. I got the gift of gab. And so it just kind of, everywhere I go is always a 20-minute conversation. I swear the lady at the post office knows everything about me. And, I don't know. I just like shooting shit. So it's kind of carried over. It's nice in business. It's nice to, because there are some people I'm sure you guys have dealt with that you call them on the phone and they don't want to talk to you.
That's
or
me.
they're salesmen and Brad tells them to get lost.
Call me and I don't want to talk to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Salesman get lost.
Honestly, like you can be a good machinist and not be able to have a good business because your personality doesn't work.
I feel like that happened.
I would say that's 99% of people. The
Right.
talent's there, but
I don't
you're an
think
asshole.
I don't think machinists are known for their ability to talk to people.
Social skills, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Man, I don't like talking to people.
Phone calls piss me off unless it's somebody I actually want to talk to, which is like 3 people in the entire world. But like I instantly get disgruntled when my phone rings.
Oh,
I'm not gonna do that. I'm like, fuck, who's trying to talk to me now? Who's calling me?
I never answer my phone.
No, I don't either. Unless it's somebody I actually want to talk to.
Yep. The hard thing is though, like I'm here working and the machines are loud as shit. So if I have to answer the phone, I have to like walk outside or I gotta like hit pause and stop what I'm doing. And it's like,
Yeah.
what do you want? Like, why are you calling me now?
I think it helps. Pat actually texted me something the other day and was like, oh well, oh your customers are going to hear you talking on here, like they better keep it PG or something like that. I'm like, dude, my customers follow me on Instagram. They know. They're
Yeah.
fully aware. And so I guess it does kind of help with, again, kind of the business I'm in is other guys like me. I mean, if you call me and say, hello, I would like to speak to, fuck you, I don't want to deal with business anymore. It's kind of the characters that are drawn over here. So,
Yeah.
Which is nice. I mean, that's a nice perk of, being able to do whatever you want, and, not everybody gets serviced. So,
Does anybody know where you live? Like sales guys or
the Doosan guy does, and it's only because he lives 3 doors down. So, but other than that, I'm with Brad. I have actually a screenshot of me saying the same thing. The new aluminum guy. Oh, I want to stop by, and no, you won't.
No. I mean, shoot me an email and say, hey, we're a distributor in the area. Shoot us an RFQ and we'll see if we can beat who you're using now. That's all you need to say. I don't need to know who you are. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And I sent the guy an RFQ this morning and he responded with, we don't carry that size stock material. I'm like, God damn it. Like, gave you a chance and you don't even have it now.
Yep.
Yeah.
One chance gone.
If any sales guys are listening to this, do not show up to shops unannounced tomorrow. Actually don't call because I'm not answering. Well, we don't even answer our phone.
I don't
We
even.
have a phone in the office. It's a landline. It's mounted to the wall. It has a voicemail that gets checked like once a month.
I don't even check my voicemail.
Yeah, dude. Some old guy showed up at the shop yesterday, and he's like, "Yeah, I got it's like the stem out of a master cylinder that he needs to be. It's got like an eye on it. It's a new one to replace the old one for like a 1940s Ford, and he needs the eye cut off and then the end threaded." And he's like, "Yeah, here you go. I tried calling, but y'all didn't answer. But here it is." I'm like, "Yeah, we ain't answering that fucking phone." Nope.
And see that's such a I feel like that's a younger thing, and I'm including you in that too, Brad. Because I mean the folks I've worked for before, they're in their 50s and 60s and 80s. They don't do business that way. If you call, they answer. They obsess over answering the phone.
Yeah.
And they go through all the pleasantries and all this. Bring it on down. We'll look at it.
Nope. No thanks. I had a guy get pissed off at me a few months ago. He came up with like a 2000 Polaris Ranger cylinder head that the spark plug threads were stripped out and he needed it helicoiled. And I was like, "No, man, I can't handle that right now." He's like, "Well, I tried calling and I left a voicemail, but you guys didn't answer." I was like, "Well, the phone's in the office and I'm not sitting in there to answer the phone." So he's like, "Well, you guys don't listen to your voicemail?" I was like, "No, I have shit to do." And he's like, "So you just don't answer your phone?" I was like, "Oh, it's in the office, not in the machine shop. I work in the machine shop." He's like, "Well, then how do you?" I was like, "I work with big ass companies and they email me when they need shit.
Right.
We make parts for them. I have production shit going on here. Man, I'd love to help you, but I don't have time to mess with your cylinder head. You're going to have to buy another $80 cylinder head."
I'm like, we are so busy, we can't even answer the phone or listen to our voicemails. I do not have time for your cylinder head.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Brad, did you, when you were getting started, were you taking stupid little jobs?
Yeah.
Because it's funny hearing you guys say this because I'm finally kind of cresting the hill of I'm starting to say no to people, and because everybody knows that like when you first get started, like I don't want to put spark plug threads and something, but
No.
you know, $20 is $20.
Yeah.
You know, so I need $20, so whatever.
Yeah.
I'm finally getting to that point where, you know, it's so nice to say no to people. They call and, you know, do you want this? Can you do this? And I don't even have, there's no sign out at the road. Nobody even knows I'm here. I'm not on Google.
Keep it that
'cause
way.
those kind of people, I don't want to find me. But I'm finally kind of cresting the hill of, you know, hey, can you do this little? No.
I mean, I don't mind helping people out here and there. The issue is when they show up and they want it done same day or next day. It's like I'm going to start using this in sometimes in the next 3 to 6 months when it makes sense. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. Like I had a guy early on come in. It was a Sunday. I was just outside like cutting the grass or something. And he came up with something and he wanted me to make it for a snowmobile or it must have been a dirt bike or something. I was like, I don't have time for that right now. He's like, your shop's right there. You can't just go make it real quick. I'm like, you give me like 2 weeks. He's like, well, you can just go run it right now. So I ended up walking his ass in here and I opened the doors. I said, I have to take this out. It's going to take me like an hour. I got to put it all back in when I'm done. I said, do you want to pay for this time I haven't doing it? And I was like, it's going to be like 4 hours. And I gave him a price. He's like, well, we can fucking buy one of these for $85. I'm like, go buy one. He's like, oh, I want this done to it. I'm like,
That's the first question I ask is, can you buy this?
Yep.
If the answer is yes, you need to go do that. You're not going to be able to, you're not going to want to afford whatever it's going to cost for me to do this.
But then it's like, well, I can't buy it with this hole or this configuration, so I want it done. And then it's like, okay, cool. Well, it's going to be $300. Well, I can buy it for $85. I'm like, yeah, they made 10,000 of them. I'm making one.
Yeah.
It's just people are just.
I guess I
should start asking them, where do you work? What do you do for a living? Can you come build me a doghouse today on Sunday for $85? And I'm gonna watch you do it.
Yeah.
That's great. So suffice to say, Pat is not a fan of yayhoo type work.
I'm not anymore.
I think Pat is yayhoo, but he doesn't do yayhoo work.
I'm trying to evolve from that. It's deep down. I actually enjoy that stuff, oddly enough.
I do, honestly. I honestly do hate turning people away.
If I could make a living doing stupid shit, like, hey, fix this for my dirt bike, you know, put a spark plug in a cylinder. If I can make a living doing that, pay the bills, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, it's new, it's different, and you know, again, I help helping people out, but it just gets so out of control. And especially like you said, Brad, when it's at your house, if you pull in, no, get your checkbook out. Don't. We're not small talking. Like, no.
Or they always do the I'll pay you cash. I don't give a shit about your $20. It doesn't help me. Like, you can write me a fucking check. I care.
Yeah.
Like unless that $20 is going to turn into $30,000 in cash, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what if he knows? What if his cousin's brother's uncle's ready to buy more? You know.
You should bring them over at the same time.
Yeah.
If you make this part, he'll buy from you too.
Yeah.
The perspective I try to give when people show up is because a lot of times I'm like, yeah, man, we usually just do like production stuff, even though we're not like a production shop by any means. Like if a machinist is looking at it, we're not a production shop. You know, we're a job shop, high mix, low volume, but they don't know that. So I just tell them like, yeah, we do production work mostly, so we don't really, can't really do side work right now. And they're usually pretty understanding, but some people are like, well, I mean, like, but you can do this stuff. I'm like you could do this. I'm like, I've got like 10 grand worth of work going on right now on the shop floor and another like 300 grand worth of work in the chute that I need to get done. So unless you're willing to really pay, I'm not like, we can't do it. They're usually like, oh, okay, those are big numbers. I don't want to.
But to be fair, every now and then the go away price works. So.
And then you're like, fuck. No,
I still don't want to do it. Should have doubled it again.
Yeah. No, we've had some jobs like that even through our customers. We're like, we don't want to fucking do this job. Throw a big ass number at it. And they're like, all right, sounds good. And in like 12 seconds, they reply.
Yeah. Like, give me 24 hours, man. Don't make me feel like I lowballed you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brad, you want to pick one out?
Let's do the K. Will Grant. More on pros and cons of having your shop on your own property, please.
Well, you nailed it. People pull in your driveway.
Yeah. We kind of answered part of this, but how about pros?
The pros is the fact that my commute is about 4 steps that way. I'm a snacker, so the fridge is 6 feet away.
I don't know if that's a pro. That might be a con. It's
Yeah, I'm
probably
gonna
con
be a
for me,
fat
but
fuck someday. But
I'll go through like 6 bags of chips in a day.
yep. No, I honestly, and I'm actually curious to hear kind of your thoughts on this too. But honestly, like I don't think a single con. I don't miss the things that I do miss of having the shop. Was like, you know, a forklift and a big parking lot, and some of that stuff was easier, kind of load, but it's nothing that I can't do here with the tractor. It's nothing that, all right, I'll just pour a parking lot, pour a big driveway.
Yeah.
There is zero cons to it.
Yeah.
The cons are the running your own business aspect. As far as where it's located, I don't pay shop rent. My overhead's zero. My commute is 3 steps away, and God, you put on parts, you go cut the grass, you go, like I can even do laundry and dishes and like, little stuff like that you take for granted.
Yeah.
That most people don't even think about is like, oh, you come home from work and now you got to vacuum. Well, fuck, I did all my chores today while my machines were running.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. You actually get like extra time, like compounds how much free time you get, because I can put something on and I go, I got 10 minutes. Well, 10 minutes, I can do a lot around the house in 10 minutes.
Yep. I'd imagine that's what a majority of people that have been working at home for the last 5 years have realized. Like, working at home is fucking nice.
It's awesome.
Like you said, get laundry done, get the dishes done, get stuff ready for dinner. Like, there's so much time wasted going into work.
Yep.
Yeah. I waste over an hour every day.
I always get people ask, or people say, it'd be hard to leave. Like, I'd be working 7 days a week. There's times I work 7 days a week, but in them 7 days, it's 35 hours.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not working 15-hour straight days because I have somebody standing over me that I need to get this job done by Friday to get it out. I know when it's due. I can still work 35 hours in 7 days and get it done.
Yeah.
And not worry about it. And, go in the house and make dinner.
Yep.
Well, it's like with your horizontal. I remember you talking about over Christmas, you were running that thing.
Yeah, and
like 8-hour cycles or something, right?
Yeah, I think in the last 5 years, I think my machines have ran every holiday. Like, I'll just come over and swap a part quick. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And I bring my kids to school every day. Like, I get to drive my kid to school and pick him up every single day.
Yeah, the amount of time you get to spend with your kids just because of that.
Yeah. Summer, the doors are open.
Yeah. You're taking your kids to school, you're coaching their football and baseball, and still, I don't know.
Yeah.
Working as much as you need to work, but not more than you have to.
Yeah. So I'd agree with Penn. There's not really any cons to it.
I would say all pros, no cons, honestly. Yeah. And that's, kind of sounds douchey, but it's the best thing ever. And I think everybody, if you got the chance to do it, try it.
Yes.
Like we were talking about earlier, if you crash and burn, so what? But God, try it, because I will shovel shit 7 days a week for the rest of my life to not have to go back to, another real shop.
So,
but
obviously,
take it from Pat and I, you cannot start a machine shop without a turning center. If you have only mills, you will. Make sure your first machine is a turning center. Don't even look for the work, because there's just 99% of things start on a turning center. If you have,
you'll have lots of free time to do laundry because it's never going to run.
Absolutely, don't start with a mill. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, start with like an engine lathe.
The amount of people that were talking about how like you can do entire parts on a lathe, and like, don't get me wrong, I understand. Like, you got live tooling, sub spindle, especially if you got a Y-axis. Like, you can do all sorts of stuff on a lathe. But I've got a 30 tool changer. I don't have to set up a fucking dual station turret every time I want to change something. Like start a new job. Spend an hour doing that shit. No, I throw the tool in the machine and probe it, and I'm done. I'm ready to go. Kind
of on this topic, Pat, I've got 2 questions for you. Do you ever struggle with being able to kind of turn your business off? It sounds like you don't. Because
Is it a two-part question, or you want that one first?
We'll do that one first.
Depends who you ask. I know a lot of people that tell me that I'm just working all the time. But yes and no. I mean, I think that when you're running a business, it's always on your mind, and there's always stuff that, like, you know, like Brad is saying, even on Christmas morning, you wander out, you flip apart, you hit go, you walk away. Like, yeah, I'm working, but I'm not really working. I thought it was going to be harder to turn off. I've heard some people say that they actually like having their shop, in a building 10 minutes away, so they can leave, and you can leave work and you can go home. And I get that. I mean, my last place was like that. It was about 5 minutes away from my house, and it was nice to, you go home and it's like, I'm home. I can't do anything. I think just kind of your discipline of how you approach stuff is, it more feels weird than it is weird. It feels weird to be home during the day on a Tuesday. It's noon on a Tuesday and my machines are off. And so that part of it feels weird, is when you're doing something else and you walk by and you're like, fuck, I wish this stuff was running. I'm sure that somebody somewhere will tell you, oh, it should be running all the time. So it's more so just weird being able to kind of compartmentalize and say that, like, I'm doing the work I need to do when I do it. And then outside of that, if it sits off, I don't care. So it's more so just a decision that you got to make of, when I'm working, I'm working. When I'm not working, I'm not working. I don't care. It doesn't bother me anymore that the machines sit off. They can sit off for 3 days for all I care. It's no different than you going home on Friday afternoon and not picking up till Monday. So
Right.
I kind of just,
I think part of it too is, if you enjoy what you're doing, what is it saying? If you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life or whatever. Like, I enjoy it. Like, I can come out here any day and I don't feel like I'm going to work. And then part of owning the business too is, I mean, if you're an employee somewhere, you typically work Monday through Friday. To me, it's not Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's today's the 7th. I got parts due on the 15th. I have 8 days to do them. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Saturday or Sunday. It doesn't.
The cool,
Days don't matter.
the cool part about it too is, like, you fit the work in to the dead spots of your day.
Yep.
Versus, you're chained to this 8 to 5 or whatever times you're working, where you have to be at work for those hours and drive there, drive home, and then outside of that, you can make the rest of your life revolve around it.
Yep.
Like, if you want to take your kids to school at 7:30, 8 o'clock, it doesn't matter. You just do it.
Yep.
And then you fit the work in between that and taking them to practice or whatever.
Yeah. And like on the holidays, if we're hosting Christmas and I get up at whatever time, I don't get up that early, so I'm not going to say 9, 10 o'clock. And it's like, all right, I'm going to throw the ham in, throw it in. And it's like, well, I got 2 hours. What the fuck am I going to do? I'm going to go turn my machine on and just hit cycle start for a couple parts till people get here.
Yeah.
It also depends on, like, what you're trying to do. Like, I know some guys that are just, they got 10 Swiss machines, and they make money by being 24/7, 365. I get it. I see the allure to that. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't want one to do the same, print money when I go to bed. But at the same time, is like, more so than, the freedom is great and all that stuff, but it's just like the ability to just, I want to work for myself. I feel like I kind of, paid my dues, that I can do whatever I want and whenever I want and walk away from it and not feel bad. So, my long-term business goals is to have free time, not necessarily just to, clog up the pipeline and make sure that everything, runs nonstop. It's like, no, I do this. I'll take half the money if I get double the free time.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of a hot topic too, that a lot of people don't really get. You want to grow, you want to expand. Nah, I just want free time. So if I can pay my bills working 3 hours a week or 10 hours a week, then like, I want to work enough to pay my bills, put a little bit in the bank, maybe slow down and work less someday. But outside of that, I don't care. I don't. So
I've had people that want to go into business ask me questions about it. And the thing I always say is, you got to decide why you're going into business. Are you going in business to get rich? Are you going in
Yep.
business to have employees so you never have to work a day? Or are you going in business to be comfortable? I'm going in business to be comfortable.
same.
I don't want employees. I don't want to have to worry about somebody here getting hurt or making sure they have work to do. I just want to be comfortable. I want to come and go as I please. And I want to be present in my family's life.
Yep.
And if I want to
And
go cut my grass and, not think about anything, I'm going to go do it on a Monday morning at 8.
If you want to do a podcast in the middle of the day at work,
Yeah.
you can do it.
Right. So
Yeah, it's Friday.
my
We've been on this for like 2 hours now.
just about.
I'm busy as shit. I should be working, but I fucking, I'm going to stop and just.
Yeah. And you're not going to feel bad about it.
No.
So there you go.
You
I
think,
might
your
call
boss,
a day after this too.
you think your boss will be mad?
Wow, fuck him.
Fuck that guy.
All right. My second question, Pat. This is something that always comes up with shop ownership. What do you do for health insurance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a poor person.
Be poor. Yeah. It's I didn't have insurance, and I had a big surgery and a bunch of stuff. And that actually got knocked down to like nothing. Because I have no income, I guess that's the great question is always, like people, like a good business makes money, a great business doesn't make a dime. Like you want to just break even all the time. Eventually I'd like to just buy insurance, maybe just buy for the family. I don't really know. That's a great question that I haven't solved. And I get that question from a zillion people. It's like, what do you do? Is like, no, right now I just try not to break my leg and, hope I don't go to the ER.
Right. That's always the thing that comes up because, other than like a steady paycheck, having the opportunity for health insurance is probably one of the biggest draws of having a regular job, being employed. Sometimes it's still not great, but obviously it's theoretically better than having to just pay 100% of everything. I know Brad's talked about how expensive it is for him.
I'll recommend Pat look into like Aflac or one of them supplemental things.
Okay.
I've had it for like 15 years, and when this guy showed up at the salon we own and tried to sell it to us, and I was like, oh, whatever, I'll just do it. So I was working at a shop at the time that didn't have insurance, and I broke my femur.
Ooh.
It was like $135,000 bill they sent to me, and they're calling like, how are you gonna pay this? I'm like, I don't have insurance. I don't fucking know. What do you want me to do? They're like, oh, well, you didn't tell us you didn't have insurance. We'll just give you the insurance, no discount. I'm like, okay, cool. What is that? She's like, well, we can knock it down to $45,000. I was like, just like that? You're just gonna take off that much? I'm like, all right. Well, I still don't have $45,000, but then I filled out the Aflac shit. I ended up getting for breaking my femur, being in the hospital for 7 days, a blood transfusion. Aflac wrote me a check for like $55,000. And then we pay like, at that time, we were paying like $125 a month for it.
Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of this surgery that I had was, I also have diabetes, which kind of makes it tricky because I got, insulin and medication and stuff all the time. But I was like trying to figure out how to get that handled. And then I had this emergency surgery, and same thing, it was like $80,000. And then you say, I don't have insurance. I don't know. And they actually turn around and go, okay, same thing. Well, we'll knock it down to $6,500. And also, hang on. Oh, wait, no, $2,500. Oh, wait. And I think it ended up being like $1,200, total of ambulance and everything. And,
which is less than you would spend in a year for insurance.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I don't know. I don't think that's the right way to do it. It's kind of where I'm at, but I would like to figure out. And so right now if you sign up for there's a bunch of government stuff that like, if you just like put in all your info, they give you like options.
Yep.
So they throw a supplemental option at you and say, I think it's United Healthcare, and it's like nothing. It's like $30 a month or something. And then, it depends on what you show, or how much you actually want a deductible or whatnot. But there's actually, it's one of those things that a lot of people, I think, assume that you're either, need a job for it or you're shit out of luck. But there's actually, like, if you just ask for help, there's a lot of places go, oh, we actually offer this thing for, self-employed or unemployed people or whatever, even if this is gap insurance in between jobs, but you can have it for 8 years. It's like, yeah, okay, well, that'll get me where I need to go.
Yeah.
And that's what I ended up doing for my surgery and stuff. And they actually went backwards. So I actually got this after the surgery, and they back covered all through the surgery and all that stuff. So there are options. Without getting political, I don't know, I don't know how many options or how long you're going to have options for, but
Right.
But there are options. Outside of that, I don't have a great answer because I haven't bought, and again, most people just hop on their wife's insurance.
Yeah.
But I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So
You just gotta swipe left or right and find one. Just put on their Foreman insurance. But we have something like that in Minnesota called MidSure. You can hop on there and fill it out. It goes off your income. I don't qualify for a discount, but it's still like, so I'd try to go through Blue Cross Blue Shield in Minnesota to get this plan, and it was like $1,800 a month. And like, nope, you need to go through MidSure. I'm like, well, I don't qualify for anything, so just let me buy it direct. They're like, we still sell it for like $200 cheaper through there, even if you don't qualify for anything. So just go that route.
So when I figure out the insurance thing, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Right. Cam, you want to pick one?
Yeah. So Dylan S2K, Job Shop versus Send Cut Send for low volume orders. He says their website, you can upload a 3D model to instantly get quoted on the job. Turnaround is a week or two, with companies such as them making services available in a way that they have not been before. Will job shops struggle?
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of just an extension of like what Xometry is. And yet I'm still here. I think it's kind of one of those things, there's an ass for every seat, and I look at my stuff I send out for laser, and I send to Send Cut Send because I go, I just need one of these and it's cheap and comes right back. Yeah. But then I go to the local laser shop and they go, we're booked out for 3 months, and they're triple the price and they're still busy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You might hurt a little bit, and
most people don't even know they exist.
Well, that too.
People know machine shops exist, so they start looking for machine shops. I don't think most, like the general population, even knows like Send Cut Send is a thing. I mean, I know they're doing like machining now or whatever, but they're not like, oh, let me just go see what Send Cut Send quotes for this.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think it'll impact it a little bit, but I think the pie is so big that even if they take a little piece out of it, I'm not really worried about it, honestly.
And in this day and age where you can be in Minnesota doing work for somebody in California and New York and Florida, you're not competing local anymore, it's nationwide. I still order a lot of laser cut stuff from a local shop. They typically beat Send Cut Send for me. Their lead times aren't as fast, but if I'm not in a hurry for it and I can get something and save 30%, I just send it out to a local shop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But if I need it in 2 days, Send Cut Send's getting it.
Yeah. I usually do Laser Bros. A buddy of mine, he's got one of those shitty Harbor Freight fold-up trailers, and he bent one of the hinges on it. And so he brought it up, and I just like measured it, made a little sketch of it real quick, and then sent that to Send Cut Send, and had a bunch made out of like 3/16 stainless 304, and it was like $40-something shipped, and it was there in 2 days.
Yeah.
Like that day, I got the email saying like, "Oh, we pulled the material. We're cutting your material now." Yeah. And then like 30 minutes later, it's like, "Oh, your job is done. We're shipping it." I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, that's insane.
Probably like 3 hours after I ordered it, it was already shipped.
yeah, they've been very good to me of, you know,
And they always-
calling.
And they always send candy.
I got a Instagram question that came up from Sam R350. Which Pat is more Yahoo?
Ooh.
I mean,
You.
I'll take it. Honestly, I'll take that one for you.
I mean, they're both pretty yayhoo.
I do know what a G40 is. So
Yeah, that's pretty official. That's not very yayhoo.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ohio Pet actually has a tractor. So
also true.
there
That
is
is
that.
fair.
I'm
He's
the
met
only
the
guy
John Deere
here.
that he's worked on.
I don't, however, live in a camper. So
Hey, I don't either anymore.
you're right.
Well,
Are you officially moved in?
Yeah.
No shit.
yeah, man. As of Wednesday was the first time I was able to take a shower in this house,
Yeah.
and we've basically been living in it since then. Still got some things to button up. All right, lads. I know we're getting close on time here. Anything else we want to try to cover? We do have more questions, but
Oh, rapid fire. Let them rip.
all right. AWD. All right. AWD 69420. What is the right way to spot for a drill?
If you say 90 degrees, then you're Yahoo.
100%.
There you go.
All right. Noah Readyhow. Share some tips for his insane 3 or 4 axis workflows. I swear he's a wizard.
Not a wizard.
No, he's a little retarded.
Gotta
Little
be
Yahoo
honest.
wizard.
Kind of retarded. Work
Just slam a
backwards.
bottle of Tylenol.
I would say work backwards. I think a lot of people go forwards and try to like see what the next, oh, my next stop will be this, my next stop will be this. I try to look at, what I want, my finished product. What finish I want on it, what operation I want on it. And then I work backwards from there. So, a lot of the cool surfacing and stuff that I get to do is kind of because I knew what I wanted and then made it, worked backwards into how do I get there instead of, just kind of, instead of going the other way. But having a final goal in your mind of what you want it to look like. And then, unfortunately, the work holding and shit gets exponentially harder when you do it that way. But, I want the stuff to look a certain way and I don't really care how long it takes. So,
Well, now that you have an air spindle,
we'll see if it lasts. I'll dunk it into something. And by dunking into something, I mean my drawer where it's going to sit for the next 18 months.
Brad worked so hard to find that for you, and you're just gonna junk it in the drawer.
what RPM is that thing?
40,000.
Shit. We'll wrap it up here. Pat, did you think of a impractical tip?
Drive fast, take chances. Machining wise, use form tabs.
Make sure your probe
Um,
got protection.
Get a ProbeHalo. Buy a ProbeHalo. This is a plug. This is a paid plug.
I mean, yeah, form taps are cool.
I say honestly, the best thing you can do is to just sometimes forget what you've been told and just get creative on stuff. I mean, there's like at the end of the day, if the part comes out of the machine and it didn't fling across the room, it's a good part. And so, whether it's right or wrong or, left to right or upside down, or somebody looks at it and goes, I mean, I can't tell you how many things that come out of my shop that I would never even show via Yahoo. Not even anonymously, like things that I have done here that are just atrocious that I'm embarrassed of, but it worked and I got paid. So, at the end of the day, I'd say keep your creativity on how you do stuff, because no matter how you do it, it ain't the right or the wrong way. There's a million different ways to do everything. So, try new stuff, do new stuff.
Nice. Well said. All right, boys, we'll wrap it up. Pat, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you guys.
Hopefully you had some fun. Where can the folks find you if they want to learn more about you?
Pat at Old Boys, lots of underscores. Outside of that, I stay off the internet as much as I can. So, Pat at Old Boys on Instagram, and don't show up to my house.
All right, then. Well, yeah, be sure to check out Pat's page there. He He posts some pretty cool stuff. That's all for this episode of the Impractical Machinist podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the Practical Machinist YouTube channel so you never miss an episode.
Also, give us a like or a 5-star rating if you enjoyed the episode. Drop a comment down below from what you learned from us, or to share your own experience and spread the word to your fellow machinists.
If you have any follow-up questions, you can DM us on Instagram, the Practical Machinist Forum, or the Discord in our Instagram bios. Check out our Instagrams, Job Shopper TN, Machining is Cool, Marvel Machining, and be sure to follow and check out Pat's, Pat_at_old_boys. Pat at old boys.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Keep those chips flying.